A lot of folks standing in the grandstand area. Hard ground ball goes foul. I'm told that there have been additional bleacher seats added to this ballpark since the Women's World Cup was played here in 2016, though there's really not much seating. And I find that odd for a ballpark of this magnitude. Literally just 4 rows of seats in the grandstand that doesn't even extend halfway up the first and third base lines, as a foul ball will fell Kong. He hit it squarely off his left ankle, and you really hate to see that. Watch this. Oh, it was his knee. You rarely ever see that. Ouch. No wonder he's down in a heap. I thought that somehow that ball had found a way to get to his ankle despite the big guard he wears on his shin. What a tough kid. He pops back up. There's going to be a mark there, presumably for the rest of this tournament. Pretty tender area, the inside of your knee. Count, meanwhile, is at 3-2. That was a 3-1 pitch he fouled off his knee. And if I'm Lachlan Wade, I'm trying to come right back inside. Here he comes. And another foul ball. That one almost bounced off the top of his foot. And now he's hit. So not the easiest way to get there, but Kang Hyun Woo is going to take his base. I will say, if you do want to get hit, that's the pitch to take. Big slow curveball. His left thigh. So he's been aboard twice without putting the ball in play. And he looks to Nam Chi Min, the first baseman, to move him along. He did just that in the third inning after Kang walked. Nam singled, and Korea was in business first and second with nobody out. But then a bunt attempt went awry. And in the end, Korea never had runners past first and second in that third inning. One strike after that foul ball. Foul by a meter, maybe a bit more. A 1-0 lead for the Australian national team as we really get into the thick of it now. Bottom of the fifth inning, a swing and a miss. The back foot coming unglued. That's the changeup that's really been an effective pitch for Lachlan Waite tonight. He spins the ball beside his right leg, now settles into the glove and delivers low. First base line that's picked up foul, and I like what Lachlan McCallum did there. He didn't charge that ball because he thought there might be a chance it could spin itself back into fair territory. Sometimes you'll really see some funky spin on a ball fouled off that way. Still 1-2 with one out and the base runner. Kong on first, having been hit by a pitch. Still 2-2. That one grounded towards the Australian bullpen, where I've seen some stirring here over the last couple of minutes, but nobody throw yet. Look at the two skippers, who have both been involved with nothing but close games to start this tournament. Waits 2-2. Bounce back to him. He grabs it, goes to second, and it's dropped. Everybody's safe. We've been lauding the defense of Byron Armstrong all night long, and right there he just whiffed. The great snare, a perfect throw, and a guy who was just one step ahead of himself. Armstrong was already into the throwing motion before he'd secured the ball in the glove, and wow, does that push the door open for Korea. A hit batsman and an error. And a line drive into center field. Bobbled for just a moment in center field, but the stop sign had already gone up and Khan couldn't restart it. He's at third, Knobs at second. E.J. Young with 2 hits in the game. He's on first. And all of a sudden they're loaded up. First hit of the inning for Korea, and now the bullpen goes to work. Graham Lloyd, the pitching coach, out for Australia. And if anybody will know what to say, it's Graham. Been around the game all his life. He's won a World Series with the New York Yankees. Pitched for a number of years professionally in Major League Baseball, and he's been a part of the Baseball Australia family for as long as I've been following Baseball Australia. Well liked by his players. And he's not only out there to work with Lachlan Waite, but he's also doing his best to buy just a couple extra seconds for the left-hander that's throwing in the bullpen. We might have been out of this inning if Byron Armstrong squeezed that throw from Waite just a minute ago on what was almost a sure thing out at second base. Instead, here we are, 1 out, bases loaded, and a first pitch outside, ball 1 to Kim Ji-chan. Pitch count up at 74. And it's 1-1. Waite slowing things down. He comes set above the belt, comes home, and has strike 2 with a swing and a miss. The third time these two have squared off. Kim struck out swinging in the first. He flew out to center field in the third. A fly ball here might be enough to tie the game. Waite wants Chris Burke to run through the signs again. Now the 1-2. Upstairs. Line drive. Foul. The lid was about to blow off this place, but fouled by a fair bit. Count holds at 2-2. The 18-year-old right-hander from Perth misses up and away. A full count ahead of pitch number 80. It may turn out to be his last. Here it comes. Called strike 3. Not sure what Kim Ji-chan was looking for there. That ball was all over the plate. And he goes down looking at it. Huge strikeout for Wade. And Shin Jun-woo is now tasked with trying to bring in the tying run from third. Lachlan Waite's fired up. And now a fly ball out to shallow left field. Armstrong's back, he has it, and the side is retired. Korea leaves them loaded, and we're headed to the bottom of the fifth with Australia still in front by the slimmest of margins. It's 1-0. A run, 3 hits, and an error for Australia. No runs, 4 hits, and 3 errors for Korea so far. 1-0 is your score. Craig Durham, happy to have you with me at Gijang Hyundai Dream Ballpark. Night 2 of the opening round at this U-18 Baseball World Cup. Each of these teams still have 3 games of group play to go after this one, and each of these 2 teams have been involved in some close games so far. Australia losing their opener 3-2. Korea winning their opener 5-4 in extra innings. So I guess it should come as no surprise that they're playing another close one. Travis Bazana leading off. The 1-1 pitch to him. It's bunted up the third base line. A good idea, but it rolls foul, and the count moves to 1-2. He didn't tip his hand, waited till the last second to get that bunt down. And maybe that's why it wound up going foul. Swing and a hard line drive out to center field, but a well-positioned Park Chae-won makes the grab, out number 1. Australia scored the run last inning with just 1 hit. Ho Yun-dong was in complete command of this game through 2 innings. He had allowed just 1 base runner on an error, while at the same time collecting 5 strikeouts. But like we were telling you just an inning ago, we've seen a lot more contact since, a lot more traffic on the base paths since. Australia sending 5 men to the dish in the third, stranding a pair, sending 6 men to bat just last inning and taking the game's first and thus far only lead. Now a hard ground ball to short, but a nice play, 6-3 for out number 2. And it'll be up to the catcher, Chris Burke, to get something started. Nice play. You know you've done something good when you get a little applause from your pitcher. Fly ball, well struck right field, but there for it, and putting it away is A-Jun Young. What a bounce back inning from Ho Yoon Dong, who breezes through the bottom of the 5th and sends us into our break with the score: Australia 1, Korea 0. The grounds crew will come out, do some work for about 5 minutes. I'll step away. You'll watch some highlights, and we'll all meet back here for the 6th. How about that? What a game here in Gija. Welcome back to Field 1 for an awesome game between Australia and Korea. 1-0, a minimum score contest through 5 innings of play. Something tells me we haven't seen the last of the scoring in this one, as those two young men on the right side of your screen were duking it out. You've got Kangaroo Hat Man taking it in, and of course the smartphones here at the ballpark as well. A little bit of everything, and so happy to have you with us enjoying this final game from Field 1 on night 2 of the opening round at this U-18 World Cup. Canada right now is the only team atop Group A with a 2-0 record. Korea at 1-0. Nicaragua also at 1-0. Australia in search of their first victory at the tournament. This game means a lot to both of these teams, maybe a little bit more to Australia since they don't have the luxury of that first win from day one. They lost a heartbreaker yesterday, 3-2 to Nicaragua. There's a rip foul as the count levels at 1-1 in the battle between Jang Jae-young, the batter, and Lachlan Waite, who's back out there for a 6th inning of work. And I hope those kids wind up with that ball. That's all I can say. A curveball there, and 1-2. Pitch on its way, bounced in, absorbed by Chris Burke's chest guard. Two, and a foul. We saw action, left-handed action in Australia's bullpen just an inning ago. That was when things were getting pretty dicey. The bases were loaded with just 1 out, and Korea was unable to score. Waite struck out Kim Ji-chan and then got Shin Jun-woo to pop out. And now he strikes out Jang Jae-young for the first out of the inning. So Waite kind of doing it in reverse. Whereas counterpart Ho Yoon Dong was piling up the strikeouts early, Waite had just 1 strikeout through his first 4 frames. He has 3 in his last 2. Or I guess 3 in his last inning and a third, and now he starts Pak Min, the shortstop, with strike 1. The 0-1 pitch, off the end of the bat, out to left field. Coming on, making the sliding grab is Ray. Pretty nice grab right there. You had to take a good first step, and Jalen Ray did. Now Park Jae-won trying to prolong this top half of the 6th inning. Here's pitch number 91 from Lachlan Waite. A bunt attempt and a strike, 1-1. I think he tipped it. Doesn't really matter. 1-1 pitch sails high. Again, a left-hander is up in Australia's bullpen down the third base line, but not throwing. Not yet, anyway. Probably pretty hot after the last frame. 2-1 here, popped up. Third base side, it's high in the air, and it might be playable. Underneath it, McDonald with the catch, and the side is retired in order. That's 5 in a row retired by Lachlan Waite. And after 5.5 innings, Australia maintains a 1-0 edge over Korea. Back in a minute. So deep into their outings, both starters, Ho Yoon Dong for Korea and Lachlan Wait for Australia, have not lost anything. Both coming off 1, 2, 3 innings in which they just put their opponent to bed. We'll see what the 6th inning holds for Ho Yoon Dong, whose pitch count is climbing up over 80. Ahead of Liam McDonald, one strike. He'll go after McDonald, Miles, and McGuire, and if needed, McCallum. Long fly ball foul for strike 2. Australia leading 1-0 despite being out hit to this point in the game 4-3. Left-hander rocks and delivers. That's 1-2. A pause in the midst of the delivery. And up under the arms of McDonald, who has struck out swinging and popped out to first. And there is support behind Ho Yoon Dong should he falter here in the bottom of the 6th. Or should he just plain run out of gas? 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and that's 10 for the left-handed starter. Down low, ball 1. Again, Korea trying to match Canada with a 2-0 record to start group play. Canada has outscored their opponents 28-3 through 2 games that were both shortened because of the lopsided scores. Beat China 17-3 yesterday, beat the Netherlands 11-0 today. Strike poured in there at 2-0, and Miles has something new to think about. Canada still has 2 really tough games, though, as they've got to deal with both of these 2 teams, not to mention a Nicaragua club that beat Australia in day 1 action and currently leads China 4-2 as they look to improve to 2-0 as well. That game's actually now 5-2. And there's a 2-2 pitch that's just off the outside corner. 3 balls, 2 strikes. With 1 out, the base is empty. So Nicaragua looking to join Canada at the unbeaten 2-0 level. Big pitch here, 3-2. And it's low, and it's a walk. Miles aboard for the 2nd time. Just 2 walks issued by Ho Yoon Dong. He looks back to the video board, sees his pitch count up at 92 now. Those 92 pitches, though, anchored by 65 strikes. He's been so good. Solomon McGuire helps him out with a first pitch swing and a high pop fly into shallow left field. It falls! So many uncharacteristic mistakes made by this Korea team tonight. You just gotta wonder why. That's 2 pop flies that have fallen harmlessly to the turf from Australia's perspective, causing some harm for Korea. It was pretty clear he just never had it, and I don't know why Pak Ju-hong, the left fielder, didn't call him off. It's charged as the 4th error, and it'll go against Pak. And you just don't really ever see that from a Korea team. 4 errors, and we're only in the 6th inning. That one could spell some trouble. First and second without a hit. Liam McCallum takes his turn. 17-year-old from Sydney. And a ball low, 1-0. McCallum's been a part of the Baseball Australia family a long time. He played at the U-18 World Cup. Was a part of the U-18 qualifying squad. His older brother, also a baseball player. Liam following in his footsteps and representing his team on the world stage here and batting in a big moment ahead 2-0 with 2 aboard. Here it comes. It's a hard ground ball, hopping foul past first. It's third base side for a foul ball, strike 2. Sent out towards the command center that sits right in the middle of all 4 fields. So nice job by Ho Yoon Dong, battling back, getting into it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The set, the delivery, and a line drive hit to short, diving back safely is the lead runner, Miles. So often when you see a ball hit so sharp, it becomes a double play. Korea could not challenge that play if they wanted to. They used the challenge in the top of the first inning, and it didn't go their way, so they're without a challenge for the rest of the night. I'm not sure a challenge would have turned that call around, but worth remembering that they don't have any more to use, and that'll be it for Ho Yoon Dong, who departs to a nice hand, a well-earned hand. He was simply spectacular tonight, throwing 98 pitches, 69 for strikes, though departing with 2 men aboard in the bottom of the 6th and his team trailing by a run. We'll be right back to tell you about the new pitcher. This one.
There will be a change of player. Republic of Korea, pitcher Lee Ju-young.
Lee Ju-young, the right-hander, is the new pitcher. after a 10 strikeout performance from Ho Yoon Dong. He inherits a couple of base runners. Miles, the lead runner, somehow managed to dive back into second base safely on that hard line drive. Solomon McGuire's behind him. And a hard fastball at 144 kilometers per hour from E to begin the night, though it's ball one to Byron Armstrong. Armstrong yet to be retired. A single and a walk. Out of the 8th slot too, that's some good production. Takes a belt-high fastball for a strike. Look back at second, the 1-1 pitch, a big curve, first time we've seen it. 2 balls and a strike. Big cut, 2-2. Massive difference between the fastball in the low 140s and the curveball at 117 the first time we saw it. We'll see where he turns, trying to get out of this inning. Back to the fastball. Armstrong lines it to first. Nice grab by Nam Chi Min. And we're off to the 7th. Australia strands a pair and maintains a 1-0 lead.
너무 일산할 수 있어. 거기서 봐. 그렇지. 네. 그렇구나.
우와, 이렇게 돼? 진짜 신기하다. 왜 이러지? 오빠 내 말 안 돼? 난 이런 거 안 돼.
이건 안 돼? 너도 5G잖아.
이런 거 다 하려면 요금 좀 비싸지.
아니, 난 5만 원대로 싹 다. 무제한으로.
5G 서비스부터 요금제까지 처음 가는 5G는 U+ 5G. There will be a change of player. Australia, pitcher, Jack Lee.
Well, both teams have now gone to the bullpen. Left-hander Jack Lee takes over for Australia after 6 dominant innings from Lachlan Waite. He departs in line for the victory. And how about this now? In the first 2 days, the Australian starters have combined to throw 14 innings with just 2 runs allowed between them. That should be good enough to get you off to a 2-0 start, don't you think? Well, Australia's 0-1 and clinging to a 1-0 lead here, and now we'll see a pinch hitter to counter the pitching change, you could argue. Lee Jong-woo is the new hitter, taking over for Pak Ju-hong, who finishes 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. And we begin the 7th with strike 1. Lee's going to give you a different look working out of the windup, not to mention the left-handed. One-one. High pop-up. First base side, a lot of room in foul ground. And dancing underneath it, Liam McCallum with the grab for out number 1. Korea's bats have gone quiet since they loaded him up in the 5th, and really, they didn't do a whole lot with the bats to load him up. Gong was hit by a pitch as he climbs back into the right-handed box now. That was followed up with an error that could have honestly been a double play ball to end the inning, and then a single, so there was one hit as Korea loaded the bases with 1 out and then failed to score because of a strikeout and a pop out. Now Lee has this one popped up. Right in front of the second base bag, catch made by Bazana. 2 quick outs and a nice start for Lee. You got to go all the way back to the 3rd inning for Korea's hit before that single in the 5th. There was a single in each of the first 3 innings against Lachlan Waite, and then just 1 in his last 3 innings of work. And Lee pours it in, strike 1 to Nam Chi Min. Fouled back off the chest protector of our home plate umpire from New Zealand. It made a loud sound. The crowd really responded to it. Fortunately, it did get the equipment. Now down and in for a ball. Lee likes the sign. Now he turns and delivers, and it's grounded left side. Diving stop made by McDonald. He's to his feet. The ball at first, but it's not quite dug out by McCallum, so it'll be a 2-out, I gotta believe, infield single that allows Nam Chi Min to reach. Great hustle out of the box. Nearly a spectacular play. What a get, and then you saw the footing kind of give out. Watch the feet after he pops up. The back foot slipped, and that's why the ball didn't get there. Still, though, if McCallum is able to dig it, that's an out to end the inning, and we're off to the bottom of the 7th instead. Here we are with a drag bunt, first base line, and first and second with 2 outs. That's a tying run in scoring position. Great idea and even better execution from Lee Ju-young, who has 3 hits today. And you hear the chant of Lee Ju-young, the fans responding to his 3-hit day. He's got half of Korea's 6 hits. How do you feel right now if you're Jack Lee? You make a couple of good pitches, and they both turn into hits. Steve Fish, the manager for Australia, comes out. No indication that it's to make a pitching change, at least not yet. There is a right-hander throwing in Australia's bullpen, but remember we saw Graham Lloyd go to the mound when you think back to the 5th inning. Lloyd, the pitching coach, Fish, the manager, but he being Steve Fish, has said his part, and he will allow Jack Lee to face at least 1 more hitter. I think if Lee even picks that up, doesn't have a play to make at first because of the speed of Lee Ju-young. A left-handed batter. A ground ball back to the mound. Lee has it, and the out is made at first, and the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left for Korea, who have just 6 outs to play with now. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Australia leads 1-0.
9번 타자 주투수 알렉스 캡터. Bottom of the 6th inning, Australia offense. Batting ninth, center fielder Alex Skepter.
We'll start the bottom of the 7th. At the bottom of the Australian order, Alex Skepton leads off. The center fielder 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Swings at the first pitch, sends it high in the air to short right field. 1 out on 1 pitch. Iju-Yup has needed just 6 pitches to record 2 outs in the ball game. He got Byron Armstrong to line out to first.
Second baseman Travis Bajana.
And now Travis Bazana, the left-handed hitter. Sees strike 1 go sizzling by. Good idea by Skepton going back to that leadoff pop out to look for a fastball and swing at it there. Now swing and a miss at some pretty lethal off-speed stuff. We've now seen them all, the fastball, curve, and change. Iju-Yup, and they're all really good. 0-2 on its way to Australia's leadoff hitter, and it's high. Bazana has struck out, reached on a fielder's choice, and flown out to center field. One and 2. That's pretty good contact, but it goes foul. Long way, too. Bazana will be followed by Jalen Ray, as Australia looks to build on this 1-0 lead, which is anything but comfortable. That time the changeup got stuck, wound up down in the dirt. Two and 2. And now after the changeup got stuck, the curveball slips. So a full count on the leadoff man. And a nice bit of work to stay alive from Bazana. Australia's been out hit 6-3 in this game. The only run was scored in the 4th. And a ground ball left side here. It'll turn into a 1-out infield single. A nice job by Shin Jun-woo to knock it down, but that was all he could do with the ball that was hit quite a ways to his left. And that got to him in a hurry. So Bazana's aboard, and now we'll see Ray for the 4th time. Another thing worth mentioning about Australia's lone run, the man who scored it, Connor Miles, reached on an error. He hit the high pop fly on the left side of the infield. It was right at dusk or twilight. I'm never quite sure which is which, but you get the idea. It was dark, but not all the way. And it was a sky-high pop-up hit towards Shin right there at third, and it just fell to the turf beside him. Now a ball fisted fair into right field. Bazana will go first to third without incident. And Jalen Ray has his 2nd hit of the ball game. Australia's back at it with 2 aboard and only 1 out. A fastball that was right down the chute. And a big spot for Chris Burke, the left-handed hitting catcher. You saw that conversation between Travis Bazana down at third base and Australia's third base coach. Well, maybe Steve Fish. I didn't get a good look at him. Oh, that's a big win for Lee Ju Yup to get strike one on a fastball up around the shoulders of Burke. Couldn't lay off. Oh, 1. Outside, throw to third, safe. Runner coming home. Somebody missed a sign. Bazana being chased back to third. Now he'll try and scamper underneath the tag. Oops. A blown opportunity by Australia. Bazana thought there was, well, either a squeeze play or hit and run on. I guess it would be a squeeze. Breaking from third, and that was news to Burke, who just took the high inside fastball. Wow, that's a really bad time to run into an out when you had first and third and only the one out. Now there's a runner on second. Credit to Jalen Ray for moving into scoring position. But with 2 away, my goodness. Burke fouls it back, so it's 2-2. Australia ran into a handful of outs yesterday in its 3-2 loss against Nicaragua. There were 4 caught stealing. And maybe 1 or 2 that I've forgotten. Beyond that, it wasn't pretty on the base paths. We'll put it that way for Australia yesterday. And well, I guess you could say the same about that play right there. Now a couple of glances back at second base ahead of the 2-2 pitch. It's hit on a line right at second for the out that retires the side. That thing turned around awfully quickly. A man left in scoring position, and Korea comes up in the 8th inning trailing by just the 1 run. Korea catches a break in the bottom of the 7th when Australia runs into an out at home plate. And we'll see what happens now in the 8th inning with the game still as tight as can be, 1-0. The only run, an unearned run, scored in the bottom of the 4th inning by this Australian national team, which has had its base running issues throughout the first 2 days of this tournament. Now you've got the heart of the order coming up for Korea too, beginning with Shin Jun Woo, the third baseman. Climbs into that right-handed batter's box, 0 for 3 with 2 ground outs to third and a line out to short. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes strike 1 out of the left hand of Jack Lee. Lee needed all of 10 pitches to work a scoreless 7th, which actually saw 5 batters for Korea. A free swinging bunch, at least in the 7th. Now a couple of takes and a couple of strikes, 0-2 on Shin. Lee got the first 2 batters he faced, then gave up an infield single and then a bunt single before grounding out Kim Ji-chan, and now off the end of the bat, a fly out to left field.